Welcome to In the Box Seat. I'm Ray Fewings, and greyhound racing is in top gear in South Australia. Of course, we saw the two finalists decided for the Christchurch Sister Cities Cup last week, and a little bit later on we'll talk to Ray Murray, who is going to go across with Aston Thomas, who's certainly a dog on the rise. And of course, we've got the Coffex Coffee Oaks being run, the heats being run this Thursday night. There are 4 heats, first 2 in each final will go through. And of course Miata is the key dog there. Up and Away though is a quality greyhound bitch that Graham Bader's nominated. She's won 130,000, so perhaps it's not going to be a one-way stretch for Miata. And then of course the Adelaide Cup is on next month, and that's after the Coca-Cola Derby. Talking to the Victorians last week when I was over there, they're really aiming for the Adelaide Cup and the Derby. And I reckon we'll be lucky if we get a sniff in, because all the big kennels, Darren McDonald, Graham Bate, Jason Thompson, even Lenny Kettler is going to come back to Adelaide, he told me, with Don Chendo for the Adelaide Cup, and he wants to run Grandeur in a staying race while he's here. So it's a fantastic month coming up for greyhound racing. Let's have a look at what's happening around the nation. Dapto got a big event. The Industrial Maiden is on this week. At Wentworth Park, we've got the Chairman's Cup over the 720, and Canberra has got its cup on as well, the Canberra Cup. Now, don't forget Chasers Face in the Crowd. If you're dining in Chasers, someone might sneak your photograph if you check in with grsa.com.au on the net. If your dial is there, it's a dinner for 2 on us at Chasers Restaurant to the value of about $59. So well worth a look each week to see if your pretty face turns up there. As far as South Australia this week, as I mentioned, we've got some great feature races coming up, but the Coffex Coffee Oaks with Miata Up and Away, and probably Jacinia Bales, one of the better chances for South Australia. They look to be the feature dogs on Thursday night. Now, the tips for the week. The Honeys are gone on Wednesday. Race 1, number 1, Mighty Chaos, won its last 2 starts in great fashion, 8.5 lengths and 7.5 lengths, and has run 30 and 28. So they suggest only bad luck will beat Mighty Chaos on Wednesday. Race 10, number 1, Henry Mallet. He should appreciate getting back to a good box draw, Henry. He did have good form a month or so back and ran some very good times. For Thursday night, they've gone for race 7, number 5, Up and Away. Very well performed greyhound, a Group 1 winner. Last start to beat the free-for-allers at Warrnambool, and the Honeys say that's the good thing. The first 4 in that is 5, 7, 8, 6. And the Honeys are going for race 11, number 7, Stove Rocks. Now, we all know that he's a widey. He doesn't go until he gets to the outside, and they think that he's graded to win. So 7, 3, 4, 1, the one there. The in-the-box seat tip for the week is, of course, Oaks Night. Race 4, number 7, Jacinia Bale. Got back to its best form last Thursday night for Sean Matcott. I think it went 29.80, and it is the in-the-box seat tip for the week. As far as I'm concerned, ones to watch. Wednesday, race 2, number 1, Proven Zari from the McGrath Kennel, now with Troy Murray. Should make short work of that event. Race 7, number 5, Omeath Entity. Now, this greyhound is one that Kenny Gill bought in the package. Ruark Entity was the other one. Now, this dog went to the coursing on Sunday, and it went 15-11 in winning a final of the coursing. And I think Lorenzo, who's got a bit of a reputation up the straight, I think he went 15-18. So this dog's obviously got a lot of pace. Omeath Entity, I'm suggesting it might win on Wednesday. And on Thursday night, race 5, number 2, It's a Blur. Remember, it was here, of course, for the champion puppy. Won the heat, never took part in the final. And the other one I like is race 9, number 1, Fancy Fuel. It's no hero, but drawn to be a very big contender in that race. Ray Murray is up next. We'll talk to him about Sweet Jam, some of the champions he's had in the past, and what he intends to do when he's over at Christchurch with Aston Thomas. Well, I promised you we'd be talking with Ray Murray on In the Box Seat, and he joins us, of course, as you know, a trainer of great renown in South Australia. Has had a lot of outstanding dogs over the years, and must be sitting back, Ray, with a bit of pride, watching your son take over your mantle as one of the top trainers.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. I couldn't expect a lot more out of him than what he's doing, as long as I finish in front of him when I run against him.
Yeah, well, I reckon he's got the wood on you at the moment, but of course he's got a lot more dogs than you. You've narrowed up to only 2 or 3, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got 4 dogs in work, and that's about all I want.
Well, you're going to Christchurch, first of all, with Aston Thomas for your son. He's in the Sister Cities final. He's a very promising dog, and he's broken the 30 a couple of times now, so he's probably got to be a real live chance.
Yeah, I've been there a few times before over the Christchurch, and lovely place. That's why I'm going back, actually. And but yeah, the track should suit him down to the ground. You do need a dog with a little bit of toe early to cut down on that first corner, but you also need a little bit on the end as well. So it's one of those tracks where, like if you can do it at both ends without dramatising it, of course, you'll go well there.
Well, you wouldn't call him a weakie. I think he's shown a bit of heart of late. He's shown that he probably can come from behind and win.
Yeah, I still reckon if he, like all up, he's not what I call an overly strong dog. But on face value, like he's only a young dog too, so he's got a lot more future in front of him, and I think the owners would be wrapped him going anyway, so that's the main thing.
And a good holiday for you.
Oh, yeah, we always need a holiday.
Of course, you've had some wonderful dogs over the years, and you go back, 30, 40 years here?
Yeah, 30 plus. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, yeah.
So what have been some of the outstanding ones?
Oh, like when I got tied up with Sarah, they just kept coming from her. Was Saxonators, Saxon's Back, 10 Tornadoes, Miss New York, Miss Spicy. I should have called her first probably. And then we've had Paper Jet and Grand Illusion. Yeah, there's been, like the industry's been real good to me. I can't complain.
Yeah, and never ending. And your son has taken it up too with dogs like Calden Mayhem, who's represented South Australia recently up there in Brisbane, and he's got a very good young team at the moment. Yeah,
he keeps finding good dogs. He's got the gift of the gab a bit, and he, like he does his job properly. He spends a lot more time than I would, but he you never see him out of the place, and so he's getting what he's put in. You only get what you put in. If you don't put it in, well, you don't get it. So, and he's doing the job right. So,
should get a pretty big tip though for Calden Mayhem, because when he came over, he had the reputation as a runner, but not reliable, and he squeezed everything out of him.
Yeah, well, like he surprised me to see what he got out of him. Because I knew the dog myself before he came over, and you had to take him on trust a lot. But whether it's a bit of maturity as well, and sort of waking the dog up to what he's supposed to be doing out here, no, he's come on in leaps and bounds. So he just needed a little rest halfway through the year when he got a bit of a flat spot there. He was pushing him pretty hard, chasing up group races and that. So he left him in Perth for 3 weeks or something, and then brought him back, and he hasn't looked back since. So no, we're real happy with the way he's going now.
And you're pottering around with a good honest one at the moment in Sweet Jam, and for a long time she was very frustrating. She ran all those placings, but you've got a couple of good wins out of her lately.
Yeah, Sweet Jam, she's one of those. Actually, it originally come from Sarah's brother, Sarah Pringle's brother, and it come over to me with bad form, had gone off. They said it was finished or something, but she come real good. And then she's one of these dogs I ended up selling to owners of Troy's, and then Troy couldn't get her to go, so Troy sent it back to me. That's how I ended up with her again. And she's one of these dogs. She just not a big kennel dog. She doesn't like kids or anything like that. So you sort of got to really, mollycoddle her a fair bit, and she gives you what you want then.
Got a good back on her. I noticed her in the kennel house at Angle Park, and you've got her big and strong. Yeah,
she's probably one of the best kennel dogs you'd ever get. She is absolutely fantastic. She, you wouldn't even know she's there, and that's how I like all my dogs. So they don't stay long if they're not. So.
No, you've got a reputation. If they can't run, they don't survive, and if they don't do the right thing, they're not there long.
Yeah, well, it all boils down there. You're doing it for owners. The owners want a little bit of return. So if you can't get return, I'm getting out of bed early in the morning to do a slow one. They all take just as much to do as a fast one. So.
And what about your other three? Are there any hopes there?
Well, Troy loaded me up with a youngster of his. That's only just started off. I got the dog in tonight. He's pretty good. He'll go pretty well tonight. He might just struggle the last 10 metres, but other than that, he should go all right. And the other one, I'm just trying to think who the other one was. I only got 4.
Calden Komodo.
No, yeah, he's the one that should go all right tonight. But Sheer Magnetic, he's getting to the end of his days. He's been a nice little dog for me. And, so we just potter around with them and we'll just fill them up as we go along. Haven't got much choice for Troy.
And of course, you're breeding litter from time to time, and you got some out of Aston Rachel just lately.
Yeah, Ray bought sent Aston Rachel down for us to whelp, and we whelped it down the other day, and I think she had about 5 or 6. The wife does that part of it. I haven't got patience to sit there for that.
Well, it's a great family thing, and when you see your son winning major events, and when you win major events, it must give you a lot of satisfaction. And sometimes there's more to it than the quid. There's a lot of satisfaction in being able to improve these dogs.
Oh, don't get me wrong. You know, money's one of the main objects, but when it comes down to it, there's a lot of stress involved in these dogs. You know, like you're only as good as your last win, and once you've had that, everyone forgets it, and then you're lining up again the following week. And if you don't perform the following week, you're just an also-ran, you know. So, yeah, there's a lot of stress involved.
Well, it's been good to talk to you, Ray, and you go to Christchurch with South Australia right behind you, so good luck and hope you bring back the major prize.
Yeah, I hope we can do it for South Australia as well, and as long as the beer's cold, I'll enjoy myself.
Yeah, I think they've got some over there. Thanks very much.
No worries, thanks very much, Ray.
So there's Ray Murray, and we wish him well with Aston Thomas, and of course Sergeant Trigger is the other runner from South Australia. Don't forget to get all your greyhound information from grsa.com.au or catch me on Wednesdays on 5RPH for Hot Dogs for Breakfast.